17 bills that directly discriminate against the LGBTQ plus community have been signed into law in 2022 in 10 different states. And more than, ready? 335 bills are currently being considered against LGBTQ nationwide. Just this Sunday, a new law criminalizing gender-affirming care for individuals under 19 years of age went into effect in Alabama. And that new law makes anyone found providing puberty blockers, hormone therapy, or any gender-affirming care at all guilty of a felony, punishable by up to 10 years in prison. Our hot topic headline of the week, therefore, is the HRC Warns. The greatest number of legislative attacks on LGBTQ in history is now underway. Well, what do we think about that news?
We've had such a rough couple of years, and you're saying it's underway now.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Like it hasn't
to go
even
from
really
then
started.
to go from Taco Bell to this is
Right?
so depressing.
Right?
Sorry.
Can we go back to Taco Bell? I mean, this is awful. And there was 330 something just waiting in the wings to be put into law, basically.
Yeah, just
right?
rubber stamp, copy paste, rubber stamp, copy paste, rubber stamp. Erase the gay people.
And to live in a state that actually is becoming the epicenter of this battle.
Like people are looking to us.
Yeah, I mean, like we are in the middle of this heated debate with a guy that basically is just trying to be the next Republican.
let me pose out a question that I know would be behind the scenes at HRC, GLAAD, Florida, Equality Florida. HRC, one of our, if not our leading advocacy organizations in the United States. What do you think that their reaction would be in that they say the greatest number of attacks in our history is underway, this number that they report in the HRC reports, but the vast majority of the LGBTQ community either doesn't hear the call or may not care about the call. What do you think about that observation?
I don't think that it's I don't think that it's that they don't care, Al. I just really think it's one of those things where they think it's not going to affect them. Where our marriage rights are under attack, folks, and people don't believe it. They just literally don't believe it. So when that comes and creeps up, and my wife is now my roommate, then maybe they'll be up in arms, and that sucks.
And yes, marriage equality is super important, but even more important, they're attacking our youth.
Yeah.
They're attacking trans kids. They're saying, no, you must live in a body that is not yours, that is not your spirit, that is not who you are. So in the 1 week, they're forcing kids in Alabama to live like this. They're forcing women to have bodies in them that they don't want and that could kill them. But there is just so much intrusiveness
with no
from
care
the party,
for them after the
with no care for them. No.
Why
not
do
a damn bit of care.
Why do we not care about that if, like with what we're watching on the impending reversal, 50-year reversal of Roe v. Wade, that many legislative and court watchers say what that will also lead to is birth control? That you can't have legitimate birth control because that is, first, not protected in privacy of the 14th Amendment, and you don't have the right to do it. Why are we shocked of what's going on when current thinking is that?
And what's mind-boggling is that it doesn't even make sense. If you put it together like a math equation, like, well, you can't have an abortion, but you can't do birth control. Like, well, okay, then what are you supposed to do?
Well, so what do you think they're trying to do? It's illogical. That's your point.
So there's no logic, and they're just bombarding the people and their base with all this information just to
they're counting on
the talking points and
they're counting on the moment. I mean, this is traditionally the midterm election. It doesn't bring out the Democrats. This is the danger right now. I think, like I said before, I think the fact that now the Roe v. Wade issue is coming to the spotlight will have to energize not only the LGBTQ community, but half the country, women that even the ones that voted for Donald Trump in 2016, the reason that we have these 3 Supreme Court justices that are basically doing what they said they will do.
Again, Dino, I apologize for interrupting, but again, it seems to me that doesn't matter. Even the most conservative polls say more than 60% of Americans completely support abortion rights. Many reports show 75 to 77% of Americans support access to abortion rights and disagree with the movements that are taking place or disagree with the courts. These people are saying, we don't care what you think.
Right, but these are people that when it was time to vote in 2016, many of those, even women, voted for Donald Trump. So now that things are coming to fruition now with the passing, if this is reversed, the danger of that and what implies for, the rest of, the society, these women will have to think very hard and very, honestly, what's going to happen. So they're going to have to come out and vote this November.
Anybody else have anything else that they want to say in relation to they just don't care? I want to ask then another related question. In any normalcy, if we were in a village and the central barn, if we were in Penn Dutch, Pennsylvania, and the main village barn caught fire, the entire village would come to the barn and at all cost try to put the fire out because it was so central for the community of the Penn Dutch, the Amish village. In this instance, we're watching the barn beginning to burn and we're not responding in any way.
Well, that's because like 40% of the villagers would have been the ones that set the barn on fire in the first place.
What do we do about this?
It does feel very, one feels almost helpless. Like I'm saying one, I feel helpless because I know you're right. I mean, we need to coalesce and put the fire out. But what do we do other than complain, bitch, moan, what we're doing now, speak out, speak up? I mean, because we're at such a precipice of such a dangerous moment for our democracy and for all of us. It's just horrifying, and I'm almost just bamboozled to a point of like being frozen.
Let me try to quantify your observation in a different way. You say we are frozen, and what do we do, etc. To the point that you just made. I, bad gay potentially, say no, and I've said this multiple times. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Because you are okay.
If you're Latino, maybe you're not.
No, you're okay.
If you're a lesbian, you might not. If you're young, if you're a student, you might not. If you are HIV positive, you may not be. But you know what? I'll be okay. And so it's
complacency.
There it is. And for me, I don't understand why ringing this bell of saying the barn is on fire in our Amish village is not having any effect, because one of the people, and there are many, many of us, I understand, are ringing the bell of sounding the alarm. The barn is on fire, and I'm not the one that is principally affected by this.
Right, I could say the same thing. I mean, abortion rights is not going to affect me ever in my life.
Yeah.
Now, but I think abortion is one of those issues that will have to galvanize society, because everybody has a sister, a
mother,
a friend. I don't have to be a woman to defend the right of a woman to decide to bring a person to this world. Not unlike gay marriage or any other issues that we're debating, right? But abortion, it goes deep into society. So not only women, I'm saying this will have to mobilize people to come out and vote. And I'm not just saying to come out and vote for any Democrat. I'm saying for Democrats that support our point of view, because we know, as we saw today, with Manchin in Congress, that there are some Democrats that are not willing to side with us.
Yeah.
And in clarity of the breaking news, John illustrates this earlier in conversation. Murkowski from Alaska and Collins from Maine voted against the bill today, 51-49 in the Republican side, along with Manchin voting with them.
Right.
And Murkowski and Collins got out of being able to vote yes because they said that the bill did not have an exemption for doctors of religious belief. And so it allowed them off the hook of going, well, I support abortion, women's abortion rights, but not absolutely, because doctors that have religious objections should get out of it.
Shame on them. Shame on them, and especially on Susan Collins. I mean,
She's the
she
worst.
should be.
She's the
She
worst.
should be.
The worst.
She should be out of Congress on the Senate soon, because what she did, believing on
Leaving all the BS about
Brown,
Trump. and all
yeah,
that stuff.
I mean all these BS that basically to justify that she will vote with Republicans no matter what, even if it's going against women.
Yeah.
It's
She's despicable.
I want to ask another related question. Do you think most, and forgive me, I'm not leaving you out, but gay men, especially gay white men, do you think gay white men understand the importance of the abortion debate and the repeal in the Supreme Court of Roe v. Wade, and how it affects so many other privacy issues that flow out of the 14th Amendment? Do you think we understand, white gay America?
Well, some of us
understands?
do. Some of us at this table do, but I would say that probably, I mean, I'm just speaking off the top of my head, I would say in general, no.
I think it has to
Sadly.
be spelled out more and more. This has to be discussed, because we don't stop just with abortion. After abortion, there will be, for sure,
Birth control, interracial marriage even.
Interracial marriage,
interracial,
interfaith marriage.
right,
I mean-
and gay marriage for sure. So, I mean, don't think that they're gonna stop at abortion.
It's just like the Don't Say Gay bill.
Right.
It's the foot in the door and then open wide.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, don't you wonder, off the top of my head, I wonder what Clarence Thomas is going to say about LGBT
Right.
I mean,
marriage
oh
rights.
my gosh.
Black
Or
dude.
his wife.
interracial marriage.
The wife.
Whatever his
the
wife
Or his
tells him
wife's
to
gonna
say.
say.
The wife, the consorting to overturn the government on, yeah.
Is it a scary time for us?
Definitely.
Horrifying.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But it's like the beginning of the horror movie where nobody knows they're in danger, except for like the one crazy person yelling and
So
screaming.
we're the
coming
crazy
down
people?
You know,
Yelling?
the old joke of horror movies and horror plots for the last 50 years, certainly, in big screen movies, is you don't walk into the woods. You don't walk into the barn with all of the
Machetes and everything there, yeah.
but the joke is, well, but we do, and what could possibly happen? And until you get your head lopped off, you didn't know, wait,
It's not gonna happen to me.
it's not going to happen to me.
Do you think that moments like this that are so polarizing will be the catalyst that somebody like Pete Buttigieg, for example, you can't be halfway, you have to take sides, right? That Pete Buttigieg will, be running again, in 3 years.
Maybe in 2032.
Yeah.
My thought is, yes, I see a white knight on the horizon, literally, in the way I refer to it, but not in any cycle that we are going to see over the next, certainly not in the next 2 years.
Advocates say it's gonna get way worse before it gets better.
I mean, worse like Ron DeSantis worse.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, because, I'm happy
Ron
that we have...
DeSantis, in this illustration, took on the most powerful corporation in Florida history and effectively won.
I don't know about
His,
that. but-
his donation level in April was higher, mostly from small donors that completely agreed that Disney was too powerful and that they should not have come out in the Don't Say Gay issue. And he raised $1 bazillion because of it.
Yeah, but Disney's not giving more money anymore to
No, but
Florida
my point
politicians.
is Ron DeSantis knew, I'm going to pick a
Of
fight with trans kids,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to eviscerate Disney over parental rights of trans kids.
Yeah, no,
And won.
he's picking the right fight for his benefit.
So our conclusion is we're in the shock stage right now. We just don't know what to do, but we're in shock.
Molly girl, you in trouble.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the